Israel, Amecha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim. Shochbeinu vekumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha.
When you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see, you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be. When you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see, you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be. When you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see, you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be. When you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see, you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be. Just start to laugh a little laugh, smile a little smile, reach for someone's hand, talk a little while, then you'll start to see that you have made this world a better place to be. When you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see, you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be. When you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see, you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be.
That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you give a little love, give a little bit more. Echad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. Don't forget to give a little ahava to your mama, your papa, your sister, and your brother, to the whole wide world. Let's love one another.
Just start to laugh a little laugh, Reach for someone's hand, talk a little while, then you'll start to see that you have made this world a better place to be. Oh, when you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be. When you give a little ahava, when you give a little love, you'll see you'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be. You'll make this world a better place, a much better place to be.
To my grandma. To my cousin.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Cantor Paul here. I'm so happy I could be with you on this beautiful Erev Shabbat, this beautiful Shabbat evening. I hope it's just as beautiful at your house as it is here at my house. The sun is going down. I don't know what it's going to look like tonight, but last night it was such a beautiful, beautiful pink and red and really, really beautiful sunset. I think hopefully tonight is going to be also very beautiful, and I'm so pleased that I could share this evening with you. I'll be solo this evening. I'm by myself. Rabbi Kupitz is traveling with his wife Karen, and I'm sure we all wish them a Shabbat of rest, a Shabbat of peace, and they will, of course, Rabbi will be back with us next week. But I thought we would warm up with a couple of Shabbat songs. I think you know most of them. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Gonna wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna nod our heads, gonna wiggle our fingers, clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna nod our heads, wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here, Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. We're gonna shout, hooray! Gonna nod our heads, wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Gonna shout, hooray! Gonna nod our heads, wiggle our fingers, gonna clap our hands. We're so glad Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. Shabbos is here. We're so glad that Shabbos is here. Oh yeah. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yabby babby babby bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam. Bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yabby babby babby bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Well, like I said, I'm sure we all know what a special day this is, and in case you didn't realize it, we have a few special things that make up our Shabbat celebration. Anybody know what those are? Well, just in case you don't, I'm going to tell you about them. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Well, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Well, kick up your feet 'cause the week is gone. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Well, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Well, kick up your feet 'cause the week is gone. Now we have 4 special things that we really need to help us celebrate Shabbat in a great way. Anybody know what those things are? How about the first one? That's right, it's candles. And the second one, that's it, it's Kiddush. And the third one of my favorites, it's Challah, you're right. And how about the last one? Oh yeah, that's right. It's each other, so let's count them down, all 4. Here we go. We got candles, Kiddush, call each other. 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 Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, yeah. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, well, kick up your feet, 'cause the week is gone. Well, that was a good warm-up, boy. Now that we're warmed up, I think we can really begin Shabbat, which we do by the kindling of our Shabbat lights, the Nerot Shel Shabbat. So I'm going to turn around and light those, and then I'm going to close my eyes and make some circles, and then we'll sing the blessing together, okay? Here we go. So we'll make 3 circles, bringing the light of Shabbat towards us. 1 for ourselves, 1 for our friends and family, and 1 for all the people in the world, and then we'll say our blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but today is a kind of a unique day in the Jewish calendar. This Shabbat, the Hebrew calendar tells us it's Tu B'Av. It's the 15th day of the month of Av. The word tu comes from the way that we indicate the numbers using Hebrew letters. The tet is the number 9, and the vav is the number 6, and you put 9 and 6 together, and you get 15. So Tu B'Av. And the 15th of Av is a very special day dedicated to love. Love between people, love between us and nature, love between us and all of creation. And the idea of love is present in a number of ways in our service all the time, but one of the very special ways it is as we begin Shabbat, we invoke that spirit of love by having in our imagination an image of Shabbat as a bride, as someone who is about to join their lives in a really official way with another person's, as a bride coming into our room, and the bride coming into our space. So we're gonna have a special song of Lecha Dodi. It's one we sing every Shabbat. That's going to welcome the Shabbat bride into our midst. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nikabla, lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nikabla, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorah. Likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nikabla, lecha Dodi. Likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nikabla. Well, now that we've welcomed the Shabbat bride into our presence, into our community, we can formally begin our worship service, our opportunity to be grateful and to thank God for all that God does, and we do that with the words of Baruch Hu. So I'm going to open that up, and you can all kind of join me at the end. How's that? Am I awake? Am I aware? Are you listening, God, to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Oh, am I awake? Am I aware? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yaladai dai dai, 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 yaladai dai dai. So In the Torah portion that we read this Shabbat, that we've studied all week long, it just so happens that this is the Torah portion where we see the words of Shema, the words of listen up, everybody. And immediately following those words of Shema are the words ve'ahavta, and you shall love. Ve'ahavta Adonai Elohecha, you shall love God, your God, with all of your heart and all of your soul and all of the strength that you have. And as much as we're called upon to love God, right? God actually, according to Jewish tradition, loves us back. How does God love us back? Well, one of the ways that God loves us back is giving us Torah, giving us not just the scrolls in our ark that are in the sanctuary at TBI, but all of these ways that we can live a better life, a more fulfilling life, to do good for the world, right? So that's what I want you to think of as we sing those words of Shema together this evening. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Shadonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. So another way you might say that love was shown to the Jewish people is when we were freed from the service of Pharaoh in Egypt. Oh, so many, about 3,400 years ago, I guess, if you look at it as history. We were freed from slavery in Egypt. We were given a new life as a free people. It took us a little while to figure out what to do with that freedom, but eventually we made some good decisions, and we were granted entry into what is known as Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel. But we recall that moment of freedom in prayer services every morning and every evening with words of Mi Chamocha, who is like you, God, who could have done this? Who else could have done it? So why don't you join me on that, okay? Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osei feleh. Malchutcha ra'u v'necha בוקיים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי אנו. ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Join me, come on now. מי כמוך באים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושי פלא. נורא תהילות עושי פלא. נורא תהילות עושי פלא. Well, now is the time where we take a moment to recall our ancestors, those not only who left Egypt and found freedom in the wilderness, but even those who preceded them many, 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 many years before them. People like Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Rachel and Sarah and Leah and Rebecca, all of our ancient ancestors. And we do that with words of what's known as our standing prayer. And so if you're comfortable standing during this part, that would be nice, if you are able. And we'll start out with the words of Adonai Svatai. We ask God, open up our lips. Let us say words of praise. Let us say nice things about those who came before us and remember them for good. Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips so that I can pray to you with all my heart. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Now it's time to hear some words of Torah. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Everybody get ready. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All who embrace it are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Oh, yeah. Well, I got a story for you. And this story is called Husham and the Wind. Now, Husham was a little boy who lived in Iraq. He liked to go to the market and buy things for his mother. But sometimes by the time he got there, he couldn't remember exactly what he was supposed to do. I'm like that sometimes. Once there was going to be a big party at Husham's house because Husham's sister was going to be married very soon. We talked about brides earlier. Husham's mother wanted to cook chickens and bake cakes and cook other good foods for the wedding party, so she sent Husham to the market. Husham, she said, buy 2 chickens and get them home as fast as you can. Yes, mother, said Husham, and off he went. At the market, Husham brought 2 plump chickens, which were strutting about happily and showing off their strong wings. Oh, these chickens have such strong wings, said Husham. Certainly they can fly home quicker than I can walk. So he pointed to chickens in the right direction of his house, and he said, fly straight to my house. And then he walked home by himself. When he got home, there were no chickens. Where are the chickens? Asked Husham's mother. And Husham told her what he had done. My dear Husham, said his mother, chickens cannot find their way home by themselves. Chickens must be tied together by their feet, and you must carry them carefully, and when you get home, they will be safe. Yes, mother, said Husham. The next day, Husham's mother sent him to the market to buy eggs. 50 eggs. This time I will remember what to do, said Husham, and he tied the eggs together one by one, and then he lifted the string high in the air, and he ran right home. Uh-oh, when he got there, all the eggs were broken. Gooey egg whites and sticky egg yolks were streaming all over the street. Oh, Husham, what happened? Asked his father. And Husham had told him what he had done. Eggs, said Husham's father, must not be tied together with a string. Eggs must be put into a basket filled with straw. Then when you get home, they will not be broken. Yes, father, said Husham. And the next day, Husham's mother sent him to the market to buy a fresh fish. Husham bought the biggest fish he could carry, and this time he said, I will remember what to do, and he put the fish in a basket filled with straw, and then he went home. But when he got home, the fish was dead. Oh, Husham, what happened to the fish? Asked his sister. Husham told her what he had done. Oh, Husham, a fish does not belong in a basket. A fish must be put in a bowl of water. You must carry it oh so carefully, and then when you get home, it will not be dead. Yes, dear sister, said Husham. So the next day, Husham's mother sent him to the market again, this time to buy some oil. Husham ran happily all the way. This time, I will remember what to do, he thought. Husham bought a big jug of oil and poured it into a bowl of water. He lifted it up oh so carefully, and holding it in his hands, tiptoed all the way home. But when he got home, the oil was spoiled, all mixed up with the water. Oh, Husham, what happened to the oil? Asked his brother. Husham told him what he had done. Dear Husham, said his brother, oil must not be put in a bowl of water. Oil must be poured in a can, and then when you get home, it won't be spoiled. Yes, dear brother, said Husham. The next morning, Husham's mother sent him to the market one more time to buy some flour. Husham was so pleased with his new errand. This time, I will absolutely remember what to do, he said. When Husham got to the market, he bought a big bag of flour and a big can, and he sat down in the middle of the street, and he started to stuff all the flour in a can, but before he knew it, the bag broke, the flour scattered all over the floor, and the flour was everywhere, covering the street like white dust. Oh dear, cried Husham, how will I ever get the flour home? Just then, a big wind blew by. Whoosh, whoosh. Oh, Mr. Wind, called Husham, you are very strong and I need to get my flour home very quickly. Will you help me? The wind stopped for a moment and looked at Husham. It looked at the flour. Why, of course, Husham, said the wind. I will be happy to help you carry your flour home. And the wind blew once, whoosh, twice, whoosh, 3 times, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And before Husham knew it, all the flour was at his house. There was flour on his face, flour on his clothes, flour in his hat. Oh, Husham, laughed his grandmother, what a way to carry flour. You may get things mixed up, she said, but you are our own dear Husham, and we love you just the way you are. And then his grandmother and everybody in Husham's family, his mother and his father and his sister and his brother, gave Husham a great big hug. What a nice story. Shabbat Shalom. And maybe just like that flour, we have that Shabbat feeling all over us, huh? I got that Shabbat feeling up in my Rosh, up in my Rosh, up in my Rosh. I got that Shabbat feeling up in my Rosh, up in my Rosh to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling down in my recline, down in my recline. down in my reglaim. I got that Shabbat feeling. It's down in my reglaim, down in my reglaim to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling deep in my lev, my heart, deep in my lev, deep in my lev. I got that Shabbat feeling deep in my lev, deep in my lev to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling, Bechol Gufi, I got it, Bechol Gufi, all over my body, Bechol Gufi, I got that Shabbat feeling, Bechol Gufi, Bechol Gufi to stay. I got that Shabbat feeling all over me, I got it all over me, all over me, I got that Shabbat feeling all over me, all over me to stay. Oh, yeah. Well, it's been so nice to spend Shabbat with all of you. Invite those who are with their family members to gather together with them as we close with our Shabbat blessing. Hopefully, my wish for you is that we all have a restful Shabbat and a good week moving forward after Shabbat if we don't get to see you on Havdalah. Just a couple of announcements before we close. One is that we do have an outdoor Shabbat service this evening at 7:30. For those of you who want to double up on your Shabbat, you can join us at 7:30. Next week, for those families who may be considering or who have decided that they want their children to join our Beit Sefer program, we have a special meeting on Thursday evening, the 29th, to share with you some very exciting new plans we have for Beit Sefer. You will want to be there. If you look at the TBI email that came out yesterday, you will see that there are links to register for the Zoom meeting that will take place. We encourage you to do that. If you have any questions, you can certainly reach myself or our president, Laura Zuckerman, or the members of the Beit Sefer committee through the TBI office. Just give a call or email. But that's all I have for now. So let's gather together and close our eyes. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God bless you with good and keep you safe. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God be with you and be kind to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha. Ve'yasem lecha shalom, shalom. May you always know that God is close, and may God give you the gift of peace. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night for Havdalah, and then our regular Monday and Wednesday Zoom Siyums. We're on at 6:45 then, Saturdays at 7:30. And hopefully at least parents, we'll get to see them on our special Zoom meeting on Thursday evening, the 29th at 7:30. So, lehitraot, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. See you soon. Erev Tov.